Now, 10 minutes of non-stop news and your first alert forecast from your Piedmont coverage team. This is News 2 at 11.
Fire investigators are working to get into the basement of the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity house where 5 people died this morning in a tragic fire. Good evening, everyone. I'm Cindy Farmer. The fire that swept through the fraternity house is our top story. The fire also injured 3 people, 21-year-old Adam Jones of Atlanta, 21-year-old Ben Eubanks of New Bern, and 21-year-old Ann Glenn of Charlotte. She's in critical condition. Witnesses report a party at the fraternity house that lasted well into the wee hours of the morning. Andrew Inger joins us now from the UNC campus. And Andrew, are investigators working through the night?
Yes, they are, Cindy. In fact, they're still working in the basement of this building where all the floors have collapsed in there. They actually had to shore up part of the building to keep it from collapsing any further because of the extent of the damage from the fire. Now, so far, no clues to what caused this tragic fire, but throughout the day and throughout the night here, hundreds of students, faculty members, friends, parents, even fellow fraternity brothers have been coming by the house here to see the destruction and to learn of the tragic news. God! Members of the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity who came to the house all heard the news. 5 people perished in the fire, 3 seriously injured.
They were good guys. Sure were.
Billy Dean heard the news at home on TV. Like a dozen or so brothers, he tried to make some sense of what seems to be a senseless tragedy.
Over 75 years of memories and traditions all burned away up there. So I think everybody that was a member had memories of the house, and I guess that's all we have left is memories.
Some of those memories were saved, like fraternal plaques and a chain whose links represent each brother initiated at the house since 1848. Throughout the day, students heard the tragedy and tried to comfort each other outside the house.
We just really can't believe all this happened. It was a bad day all the way around. Mother's Day and graduation.
That date made the news of this fire even worse. School Chancellor Michael Hooker heard the news just before commencement ceremonies began.
It is profoundly ironic that what should have been the happiest day in the year of the university has turned out to be the saddest. Our thoughts and our sympathy are with the family and the friends of the victims.
Now, they're still not releasing the names of the 5 victims who died in this fire. However, we have been told by fraternity members that they were in the junior and sophomore class. Now, as I said, still no cause of this fire, but fire investigators right now are in the basement of this house trying to look for clues. What we do know is there was a graduation party that lasted here until about 4 o'clock in the morning, between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. What happened then, that's exactly what the fire investigators are trying to figure out right now.
Andrew, we saw a lot of grieving students, and I understand there are already memorials around.
Yeah, they're starting to sprout up around the campus here, but over at one tree right behind us here that you can't really see, there are 5 little roses and 5 little candles. People are bringing things in 5s for the 5 students who died here. But probably the most poignant thing around the campus here is that there are purple ribbons being tied on trees. Now, purple is the color for Phi Gamma Delta, or Fiji as it's known on campuses around the nation. And we'll sure probably see more of that as we go on through the week here.
All right, Andrew, thank you for that report. We've got more to tell you about the fire. Here's what's coming up. UNC graduates didn't even know the fire on campus had such tragic results. We'll have their reactions. Plus, phone numbers you can call for more information or to speak with a counselor about the fire. So get a pencil and a piece of paper ready to jot those numbers down. Well, after our top story, let's get your first alert forecast. Jed, what can we expect for Monday?
I think we'll be seeing grayer conditions into our forecast for Monday. Today was a great day, though. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures a bit on the cool side. It'll be cooler coming up for tomorrow. As we check out your forecast towards 6 o'clock, chilly with temperatures around 40 degrees. As we work toward noontime, look for increasing clouds and temperatures around 52. As we work into the afternoon hours, mostly cloudy conditions with a few isolated showers. Temperatures around 6 o'clock. 55 degrees. We'll be warming things up, though, as we work through the work week. We'll have that warmer work week forecast in just a moment.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jed. When UNC graduates and their parents filed into Keenan Stadium this morning for commencements, most didn't know anything about the fire at the Phi Gamma Delta house. Monica LaLiberty ended up breaking the news to many of them.
We heard the sirens and wondered where the fire could be, didn't know it was so close by.
As graduates began to gather at the old well, students were shocked to learn just how deadly the fire was.
No way, really.
Are you serious?
students still filled with graduation euphoria began to feel the pain of so many schoolmates lost.
It's a huge tragedy. I wish there was words you could say to try to help ease the pain of the friends and family members, but there's not.
I'm happy that I'm graduating, and yet I still feel sorry for the families and for their tragedy and their loss. Kind of makes it hard to get excited when those people probably should have been here with us, and they're not.
So as a dark shadow is cast over this day of what should have been pleasant memories, these graduates learned a lesson not taught in a college classroom.
It just lets you know that, every day is special, I guess, and you should wake up, every morning, thinking that, I have a life to live, and let me go live it, and let me go do some things.
We are not always in control when we think we are, and we just have to take life one day at a time.
Monica La Liberty, News 2, your Piedmont coverage team.
The university has set up several phone numbers for folks with questions about the fire. The public information lines are area code 919-918-2797 and area code 919-918-2795. And the University Counseling Center has a number for friends and families to call. That number is area code 919-962-2175. New tonight, a Piedmont family celebrates a graduation that's especially poignant. Last Mother's Day, Melissa Tucker was flying to New York with her family for brain surgery, a risky operation to remove a tumor on her motor cortex. She had to postpone her graduation, and now, a year later, she has her diploma. The party's a special event, too. Melissa's family lives next door to the Trinity foam plant, which was shut down briefly by the state for emitting high levels of toxic chemicals. State environmental officials tell News 2 that Trinity American President Jerry Dry promised not to make foam on Mother's Day as a goodwill gesture so the family next door could hold the party outside. And Melissa's checkup last month was very promising. Well, mothers of some University of North Carolina Greensboro students are especially happy tonight. UNCG held its commencement ceremony this morning at the Greensboro Coliseum. Around 2,400 students decked out in their caps and gowns walked across the stage and into the real world. Congratulations and best of luck to all the graduates. The crash of ValueJet Flight 592 touched many lives, among them a Gaston County couple. Like so many high school sweethearts, Dan and Linda Jarvis went their separate ways in college, eventually settling down to marry someone else. But 3 years ago, after failed marriages, Dan and Linda found each other again and married. After years of planning, they'd taken their dream vacation, a Caribbean cruise. They were returning home aboard ValueJet Flight 592 when it went down yesterday in the Florida Everglades. No survivors, no bodies, only pieces of what used to be the DC-9 remain in the Everglades. But today, investigators may be a step closer to figuring out just what went wrong. Taped conversations between a crew member and the tower indicate that smoke was not only in the cockpit, but in the passenger cabin as well. Today, NTSB investigators located the plane's 2 engines, but had not decided how they would recover the wreckage from the swamp.
The environment out in the swamp there, with the mud and the water particularly in the combination, it is very, very tough to figure out how we're going to get the aircraft out from that swamp.
Investigators are considering building dikes and draining the area in order to get to the wreckage. The apartment where Margaret Mitchell wrote Gone with the Wind was destroyed by fire today. Topping our look at the world in a minute, investigators believe the fire was intentionally set. Evidence of a flammable liquid was found by investigators on the floor of the building. The historic home had recently undergone a $4 million renovation. It was set to open to the public on June 28th. In Cincinnati, Ohio, the smell of tear gas has left Main Street, but a lot of questions remain after a near riot there last night. 16 people were arrested when a crowd of about 200 attending a festival got unruly. Cincinnati police had to use riot gear and tear gas to break up the mayhem. And just how do you move a 237-ton aluminum piece of history? Very carefully. NASA found that out today when workers moved the first stage of the Saturn V rocket into a new indoor visitor center. The Saturn V was used during the Apollo mission. The unit will now join 3 other refurbished stages to complete the entire moon rocket display. A lot of folks looking forward to visiting that new visitor center. It opens in December. Sam joins us now with a look at tonight's sports spotlight, and I think he's got a shot in a million, huh?
One of the ones, well, you pull these off on a regular basis.
Right.
Well, let's go. Let's go to Wilmington, Delaware, folks. LPGA Championship. Kelly Robbins with one of those shots you always kind of hope for. Watch it roll and roll, and it stops. Now, how many times have you seen that happen? And she walks up to it. Why won't that thing fall in? She turns to the gallery. It's got a pretty brisk breeze blowing out there. Guys, why don't you just blow in this direction here? Just once, and there it is. That's all you have to do. Great shot. That's in our spotlights tonight. You like that?
Well, I like that. Once in a million. One in a million. Thanks, Sammy. Right. Well, if you didn't get the information on the phone numbers for the Phi Gamma Delta fire, here's another look for you. The university, again, has 2 numbers for public information that anyone can call. But they're asking friends and family members to call the counseling center for more information.
Monday looks to be a bit gray around the edges, but how does the rest of your work week look? We'll check that forecast in just a moment.
You're watching News 2 at 11 with Cindy Farmer. Meteorologist Jed Castles with your first delayed forecast, and Sam Crenshaw with your latest sports scores and highlights. And tonight, only on 2, Crossin, Carolina with Arlo Lassen. This is News 2, your Piedmont coverage team.
There's a chain of sights and neon lights that ties us together. So pack your binoculars. The Toyota Summer Drive is on. Run into your dealer before the crowd start to swell. And see the hallmarks of this land in a classy Avalon, which you can lease for $279 a month. Or choose Camry and save up to $1,200 when you buy or lease. But hurry, because there's great values on Avalon and Camry and a 1,000,000-mile post to go. So see your Toyota dealer and drive.
At Food Lion, you can save up to an additional 20% off MVP items. But now we've done something to make those savings even better. We've added more items. Food Lion, extra low prices, and more.
Ever wonder how certain grocery stores can afford such fancy decor? At Food Lion, we concentrate more on the things you came for in the first place. Groceries and extra low prices.
Food Lion, extra low prices, and more. In the South, communication has always been a way of life. So it came as no surprise when they chose to hold the first Olympic Games of the new information age right here. And Bell South is busy preparing for what should be one of the greatest events ever undertaken. Bell South, the communications company of the South.
Dodge Dakota is #1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. #1 in horsepower, #1 in torque, even #1 in towing. So it should come as no surprise that across America, Dodge pickups are #1 in sales growth. Now get up to $3,500 off on Dodge Dakota, including $1,000 cash back. See the cars and trucks of the Carolina Panthers at your hometown Carolina Dodge dealers.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're seeing some pretty nice weather outside right now. Things starting to cool off a bit as we see our conditions dropping off. Outside for today, we had a high of 65. That morning low temperature 48 degrees. We're dropping now below that here as we work over the next couple of hours. For the records, 90 degrees, the record high back in 1953, and that record low of 37. That's set back in 1969. Our national temperatures right now, we can see there's a wide range in temperatures from some 30s over the Great Lakes, 36 now in Sault Ste. Marie, 37 in Detroit, and some 30s up over the New England states. But contrasting that to some much warmer temperatures, they're still in the 100s right now down around Phoenix. 101 the reading there as of this hour, so some very hot temperatures there, and they'll expect to see those same kind of conditions coming up over the next few days. Here's our weather over the past 24 hours. We've been seeing a few clouds moving in. Noticing some high-level clouds, and those have been skirting their way across the Piedmont this evening, and that's what we'll expect to see overnight tonight. Much of these are thin, cirrus clouds. We'll expect to see a few stars out there, but there will be that milky white cloudiness continuing across parts of the Piedmont tonight. Most of the action, though, is continuing back out to our west over the middle Mississippi Valley and back over the Central Plains. They've been seeing some stronger thunderstorms here. We're going to expect to see this weather system move over our region overnight tonight into tomorrow. bringing us an increase in clouds, and then at the same time a slight chance for a shower. That'll be into our forecast by afternoon. Well, where's the rainfall right now? We're still seeing some light activity across parts of the middle Mississippi Valley, Tennessee, back up across Indiana and Illinois. We're going to expect to see this activity slide onto the southeast, and again, I think the best chance for any chance of showers should be in the afternoon hours, as we'll see just some isolated chances. So here's your forecast for Monday. There will be an area of high pressure in place, some clouds moving in overhead, and a chance for some showers. It's going to be kind of a cool day tomorrow. The computer is calling for a high temperature tomorrow, up around 64. We're going to go about, say 5 degrees cooler than that, keep it in the upper 50s. So some chilly afternoon temperatures expected. Where the warm weather will be, well, once again, the hot 100s back over the desert southwest. 83, nice day in Denver coming up. 87 in the Big D. 72 in Atlanta if you're doing some traveling there. Our forecast overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies and temperatures near 40 degrees. For tomorrow morning, starting out chilly, partly cloudy, 40 to 45. And by afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, isolated showers, and our highs back up between 55 and 60. Here's your next 5-day forecast. We'll warm it back up for you from 68 on Tuesday. We'll warm it into the 70s by Wednesday, back into the 80s by Thursday and Friday. Again, just a very slight chance of a shower to our forecast for Monday. Next chance for rain, maybe a thunderstorm back into our forecast by Friday. And those morning low temperatures for Monday, 38 is our record low, so we're going to be close to it. Our record low for Tuesday is 40 degrees, so we'll have to wait and see about that. That's what we're forecasting a low temperature.
Chilly couple days, though.
You bet.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Still to come, Sam is on the way with highlights from the NBA playoffs and from the ballpark. But first, let's check out scores from today's baseball action.
When a burglar enters your home, the first 3 minutes are crucial. What he finds in those first 3 minutes will often determine whether he stays and steals or cuts and runs. Watch as News 2 stages a real-life break-in to show you the burglar's patterns, what they'll look for and where. Learn why the first 3 minutes of a break-in are so crucial and how you can protect yourself. Watch How to Beat a Burglar, Monday, only on 2 at 11.
The 1996 Lincoln Town Car, treasured for its luxury, admired for its style, recognized for its sophistication. And now, Lincoln Town Car is yours for just $499 a month with only $499 down. Your Lincoln dealers have taken a special allocation of town cars just for this event. So now you'll find Town Car selection to be just as extraordinary as the car itself. The $499 down, $499 a month Lincoln Town Car. What a luxury car should be.
Here on the East Coast, Duron's been part of the local color for nearly half a century. And now, at the Home Depot, it's also the newest paint on our palette. Duron Paint, now at the Home Depot.
Monday on the Good Morning Show, I'll take you to a great getaway that's just right for a special occasion.
And I'll take you live inside a drug and alcohol treatment center.
But first, the 5-day forecast and all the news and live traffic, only on the Good Morning Show.
Ask your veterinarian for new Advantage. Advantage. Don't give fleas a biting chance.
Hi, everybody. Hope you've had a happy Mother's Day. Let's start with the NBA playoffs. 4 games on the slate today in the Big Apple. New York Knicks seeking to even the series with Chicago. Michael Jordan from the corner. Jordan with 27 points. Not much production from him late in the second half. Here's Charlie Ward at the 10-5 touchdown. You count the basket and the foul for the former Florida State quarterback. Now, Knicks forced Ron Harper to get into the action here. The pass from Dennis Rodman, count the 3 ball. He had 18 points in the game, beats the shot clock right there. Patrick Ewing late in the game. gets it to go. 29 points for the big guy. Knicks up 91-90, but watch Rodman with the dish. Bill Winnington the shot, and that puts the Bulls up for good. 94-91 the final. They lead that series 3-1 tonight in Salt Lake City, Utah. San Antonio and the Jazz from the corner. Jeff Hornacek and Chris Morris is really having an impact on this game for Utah. Look, inside, there's Karl Malone. Count the basket right there. Great first half. Morris, no doubt, glad to be out of New Jersey and being with a contender for a change. Chris Morris for a three from outside. 101-86 the final score. Yes, he's happy. Utah with the win over San Antonio. Now, one thing is certain, we will have a new NBA champion this year. Today, the two-time defending champion Houston Rockets eliminated by Seattle. 4 straight games, but they wouldn't go that well way easy. Robert Horry, less than a minute left, cuts the lead to 99-95. They're still coming back. Horry again. It is 99-98, Seattle by 1. Now, Gary Payton, the drive in the basket here is 101-98. Seattle's leading with only seconds remaining. But could they hold the Rockets off? Here's Sam Cassell. Ties it up, sends it to overtime at 101. Rudy T hoping his team could work more magic in the extra session, but not happening. Former Charlotte Hornet Hersey Hawkins driving for the basket, 114-107 as Seattle eliminates the Rockets in Atlanta. The Hawks and Orlando Magic playing game 3 of their series. Yes, Shaq was in the house and gets the rebound here, back up strong. Christian Laettner had a great game, but no response for Shaq on a lot of the plays. And here's Anthony Hardaway, bad hamstrings and all, turn around, gets it to fall. The Hawks were able to keep it close right in the game throughout, and in the second half, they even take the lead. Mookie Blaylock with the steal. Takes it back for the basket. Hawks are up. Ted Turner and Jane Fonda like what they're seeing there, but still no answer for Shaq Layton again. 103-96 the final score as Orlando now leads that series 3-0. The NHL playoffs continue today, and in Philly, the Flyers and Florida Panthers play Game 5 of their hard-hitting series. Watch John Van Beesbrook in goal for the Panthers, turning back the shots, turns back another shot with time running down in a 2-man advantage. Watch number 88, Eric Lindros, gonna send it home. That's the first goal of the game. Gives the Flyers an early lead, but it'll be all tied up at 1. They play through 1 overtime. They go to a second overtime, and watch for Mike Huff off the rebound, turn around, wide open net, and that's your game winner in double overtime. The Panthers win at 2-1. They have a 3-2 advantage over the Flyers. One other score to tell you about: the Blues lead the series with Detroit 3-2 after a 3-2 win today. All right, coming up next, some other days, we're going to take it to the ballpark for highlights from the links. But first, America's premier cycling event, the Tour de Pont, had its 12th and final stage today, a 19-mile time trial just outside of Atlanta. And you're looking at American Lance Armstrong of Team Motorola, the defending champion, became the first 2-time winner, back-to-back winner, that is, of the Tour de Pont. Winning it today, start the day with a 2-minute advantage. Lance Armstrong wins the Tour de Pont. Back with more sports after this timeout.
Ford NASCAR drivers Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, and Ernie Irvin talk about success.
One way NASCAR ranks a driver's success is by how many top 10 finishes they chalk up.
Right. The same goes with ranking a dealer's sales success.
And your Ford dealer is the clear winner.
Now save over $2,200 on the #1 selling Ford F-150. Or get $600 cash back for low 4.8 financing on the #1 selling Ford Ranger.
Want to drive home a winner?
Look no further than your Carolina Ford dealer.
I'm a lifelong Republican and a small businessman. So when Governor Jim Hunt said he'd hold the line on taxes and create jobs, I wanted to see what he'd do. Well, Jim Hunt did what he said. He cut taxes every year, including the largest tax cut for working families in state history. And he's helped small business expand and grow. The result, over 300,000 jobs have been created. That's why, even though I'm a Republican, I'm supporting Jim Hunt. He's good for small business, he's good for jobs, he's good for North Carolina.
Where is Hinkle?
He'll be right with you, sir.
Better be.
Find Mr. Hinkle! Gotta find him! Where is Mr. Hinkle? Gotta find him!
Mr. Hinkle! Mr. Hinkle! Mr. Hinkle! Mr. Hinkle! Mr. Hinkle! Mr. Hinkle!
Mr. Hinkle!
Maybe you do need cellular service. 360 Communications. Access to anyone.
Why float through life when you can drive?
Welcome back, everybody. After playing their last 7 games on the road, the Greensboro Bats get to play 7 of their next 8 at home, starting this evening with the Augusta Green Jackets. Go to the ballpark. Mothers at the ballpark, and that's the new makeshift fence there on the right field line at the ballpark. Tom Becker in trouble early. It's Wickelman Rodriguez giving the Green Jackets a 2-1 lead. Now 2 batters later, Charles Rice singles to left field. 2 more runs come in. Augusta's up 5-1. Green Jackets are cruising. But the Bats would strike back. After a single by Shea Morin's, Cody Samuel comes up to the plate, and he's going to lose this one. Long home run to left field. Not enough, though, as Augusta wins it by a score of 6-5 over the Bats this evening. Warthawks going to win at home, though, over Frederick this afternoon, 7-5 final score in that game. In the big leagues, Atlanta Braves had their 7-game win streak snapped at the Vet in Philly. Mother's Day in South Philadelphia at the Vet. Philly fanatic brought Mom to the park. Mom wants to play catch. Not a good idea. She catches the ball and lands up on her backside, but I think it's going to be all right. Not as well for Greg Maddux. He had some bad pitching luck. Didn't get much help in the field either. Got into a hole early and couldn't get out. Braves fall by a score of 6-0 to the Philadelphia Phillies. Racing notes for you. Busch Grand National race in Loudon, New Hampshire washed out again today. It has been reset for July 12th. That's the weekend the Western Cup cars will be in New England. And at Indy, the track qualifying record was shattered by Ari Lyondike today. A speed of 236.986 miles per hour. Comes a day too late for the pole, though. He will start on row 7 for the race on Memorial Day weekend. Now moving on, we go on to things in tennis. Pinehurst, Mats Wilander, the former #1 tennis player in the world, in the final of the U.S. Clay Court Championships. Wilander facing a Brazilian Fernando Melangini, and Melangini here in the near court. Watch him get the volley to win that point. He will take him out in straight set scores of 6-4, 6-2 over Wilander today in Pinehurst. Now, the weather-plagued LPGA Championship continued today in Wilmington, Delaware. Well, the weather was much better, and the play by Laura Davies, well, just enough to get her by. Gets this putt to roll home for Berger. Had a 70 today. A nice round and some shots to keep her in contention late, like the one out of the sand. Great shot right here. She beats out Julie Pierce by 1 shot, picks up a check for $180,000, her second LPGA championship. Laura Davies, your winner. Now, deep in the heart of Texas, the men's tour played the Byron Nelson Champion Classic, and this guy was having a great round. This is Phil Mickelson rolling it in for Bird. Mickelson a round of 66 that included some spectacular shots, just like the one coming up right here. Mickelson from the fringe. Does it almost any time he wants. Finishes at 15 under par, a check for $270,000. He is now over $1 million for the year, and he is #1 on the PGA earnings list. Another golf note for you. Jim Colbert's final round 69 lifted him to 10 under par in a 3-shot win over Aseo Aoki at the PGA Seniors Nationwide Championship that took place just north of Atlanta in Alpharetta. Let's look at sports, look at golf, look at sports, and a little bit of everything on Mother's Day.
I think Phil Mickelson's shot was a Sam Crenshaw shot, wasn't it?
Oh, not at all. I would have flew it right over the green.
No, you're right. Still to come, did your mom like her Mother's Day card or her gift? Arlo asked his mom what she wanted, and you'll be surprised at the answer.
Well, after you purchase a car,
they took a picture first in front of the car.
Hung us on the wall with all the others.
I'm even a calendar girl. And then I start to leave to go home, and I look behind me.
And the office people come out.
And there's a row of people standing there.
And like surrounded us, but not in a scary way.
They sing a song or they do a chant. Saturn! Go, Treva, go. Something like that. And all I can tell you, it's fantastic.
Feel like part of the family.
It does sound corny, but not when it's happening to you.
We're hokey, but what the heck?
Pardon me, is that right? I just pay regular price for Quincy's Food Bar, and I can treat anyone else for just $4?
Sure, bring the whole family.
Good. Well, there's my sister, Phoebe. I'll just pick. There's my husband.
Love you, babe.
The twins. My nephew, Uncle Lucky. Cousin Wong. My brother.
$4. Quincy's new $4 Food Bar. Just pay for one at our regular low price. Everyone after that is only $4 each.
$4. Is that before or after taxes?
When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you say
all oldies all the time. Oldies 93.
Do the locomotion with me. You gotta swing your hips now. Come on, baby. Jump up, jump back.
All Oldies all the time. Oldies 93.
Let's see how much you can save on the Chevy Blazer when you compare it to the competition and add features like V6 engine, automatic, anti-lock brakes, air, leather, cassette. When all is said and done, Blazer costs $2,200 less than Explorer and over $5,000 less than Grand Cherokee. Kind of changes your perspective, huh? And with Blazer, you also get a more powerful engine and Chevy's exclusive driver control system. So see your Carolina Chevy Geo dealers today.
No shorts for kids at the school bus tomorrow morning.
Might just need the jacket as you head off to the bus stop, looking for temperatures 40 to 45 under partly cloudy skies.
Mother's Day activities are winding down around the Piedmont, and what's the final tally? Crossin, Carolina, Arlo Lassen finds out.
Mother's Day, so many options, so little time.
Choose from our selection of fine watches, elegant
Spas, the largest selection and lowest price anywhere.
Lingerie, and even casual or dressy clothes. Okay.
Don't give us dumb stuff for Mother's Day.
Give us jewelry from Friedman.
I want to know what moms really get for Mother's Day.
Have camcorder, we'll travel.
Hi, can you tell me what your mom got for Mother's Day?
Holy moly, it is all over. I got this beautiful card from my daughter on how much she loves me.
I want to find out what you got for Mother's Day.
Well, I got a balloon so far. A balloon. I got a hat, some money, and a brand new grill that we're going to cook on tonight. A beautiful fancy candle.
That stuff.
It's a telephone address directory.
Guess I better quit procrastinating. Find out what my mom wants.
Hello.
Hey, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Arlo.
Now, what'd you get for Mother's Day?
Oh, I got some pretty flowers. I got some a pen. I always wanted.
So, Mom, what do you want from me for Mother's Day?
I can always use some towels or a broom and Arlo, something we would really like from you is some grandchildren.
Happy Mother's Day from Crossin, Carolina.
You know, even if they looked like you and acted like you, we would still love them.
I'd say that's a big hint, Arlo. A big hint. Got to get a wife first, though. Well, that's all we have for now, folks. Thanks so much for staying up with us. The news continues tomorrow morning at 5:30 with the Good Morning Show. Have a good night and a great week.
This is News 2, your Piedmont coverage team.